Hello, it's Dave from Mercury Magnetics. Today I thought we'd showcase one of our transformers from our RADIOSPARES product line. This particular model is an RS Deluxe EL84 2x4. As you may know, the RADIOSPARES were the premier transformers made in England at the time that Vox and Marshall amps started. They're really high quality transformers. Mercury Magnetics owns the trademark for RADIOSPARES, therefore we're allowed to make transformers and call them RADIOSPARES. The neat thing about this transformer is that this one was made with two primary impedance windings, an 8K winding and a 4K winding. The 8K winding is if you want to use two EL84s. The 4K winding is if you want to use four EL84s. Why would you need two different primary impedances? Well, two EL84s, the ideal load impedance for them is to drive into an 8K load. That's where they're happiest, that's where they're most efficient, that's where they're going to work the best. But you double up, you now have four of them, you need to cut that primary impedance in half, so it's shared across the four tubes. Hence, that's why we make it with both an 8K primary and a 4K primary. Now on the output side, there are 4, 8, and 16 ohm taps. Why is that important? Well, we need to match the speaker load through the transformer back to the tubes that is driving it. So if you have a 16 ohm cabinet, for best efficiency, you want to use the 16 ohm tap. If you have an 8 ohm cabinet, you do not want to use the 16 ohm tap because that'll draw too much out of the output side of the power transformer. So you use the 8 ohm tap. Again, 4 ohm tap is so you can use a 4 ohm cabinet. So you've got two 12-inch speakers that are 8 ohms apiece. Another reason to have an output transformer in a vacuum tube amp is that this is an isolation device. This isolates the speakers, which is a very low impedance connection, from the primary side, which is very high voltages. You do not want those voltages getting through to the speakers. It would damage them. What the transformer does is convert the high voltage, low current signal on the tube side to a low voltage, high current signal at a low impedance to drive those speakers, yet prevents all that high voltage from coming through and damaging the speakers. It's isolated by the transformer. This is really a well-made transformer. It gives you the options to do either the 2 tubes or the 4 tubes, all with a single transformer. Another thing that separates Mercury Magnetics from all others is the quality of material and workmanship that we put into these transformers. We use the very finest American-made steel, American-made copper. We have technicians that wind these transformers that have been here for many, many years. They are perfectionists about the way that they do it. These are all handmade, one at a time. But that's the way you have to do it to be able to get a transformer that works as well as the Mercury does. One thing that's kind of unique to this RADIOSPARES transformer is that we make it in the way that RADIOSPARES made them back in the 50s and 60s. As you can see, we do a different lamination stack. Standard lamination stack usually is just one lamination, then the next lamination, then the next. This is a group of laminations, as you can see. Just something unique about the RADIOSPARES, the way they're made, and allows them to work the way they work. Again, this is Dave from Mercury Magnetics. If you have any questions about our products, you can shoot me an email at dave@mercurymagnetics.com. Thank you for your time.